The former Forum for Democratic Change presidential candidate has turned up the heat on police chief Kale Kayihura, telling him to step aside as the fallout over protests at court against attempts to prosecute him continue to gather pace.
He cannot be the head of the police and be arrested by the police and arraigned in court by his force while he is in office. So Kayihura must step down, and once if he is discharged of those cases, then he can go back to the office. If he is not discharged, then the law would take its course.
The trial magistrate, Mafavi, will on the 29th of August pronounce himself on the non-appearance of Kayihura and 7 police officers charged jointly with him over the beating of Besigye supporters and bystanders who lined up on the roadside on the day he was released on bail. Besigye took a swipe at the Directorate of Public Prosecution over its attempt to take over the prosecution of Kayihura.
Now, the DPP obviously has power to take over private prosecutions, but he should do so when the offender or when the suspect is in court. Because how do you take over a charge when there is even no plea? That he enters a plea that he is guilty or not guilty. Now, if he wanted to plead guilty, what is the DPP taking over? You know?
Besigye also castigated the police handling of the chaotic scenes at the court in which lawyers handling the private prosecution of Kayihura survived being assaulted and had to be evacuated under heavy security.
The police should enforce law and order irrespective of who is being tried. And enforcement of law and order does not include stopping people from coming to court. It only includes stopping people from acting out of the law when they are at court. That's what it involves. They make matters worse when they try to justify what is not justifiable. What happened is a heinous crime, and nobody should attempt to justify it.
The chaotic scenes on Wednesday at Makindye court were seen by some as similar to those of Besigye supporters in June this year as the state moved to charge him over treason. However, Besigye disputes this.
Courts must be open to all. As you know, that has not been the case in my cases when I have appeared in court. Roads have been blocked and people have been stopped from accessing court. And those who have accessed court, to the best of my knowledge, have not been rioters at all.
Besigye insists that protesters in support of the police chief in court had set a bad precedence.
What is the precedence that Mr. Kayihura is setting? Mr. Kayihura is saying that if he is going to prosecute me, I can as well organize people to go to court to stop the prosecution. What justification can Mr. Kayihura have to stop demonstrators challenging the prosecution of another person, any other person?
Walter Besigye, NTV.